Hello, my name's John Phillipson and it's my real privilege to be Chair of Governors here at St John's Church of England Primary School. I'd like to take a few moments to explain how you can maximise your chances of getting your child a place in this school. But first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the sort of school that we have here at St John's. I think it's probably 20 years now since I was in your position and looking for a school for my eldest child. And I have a real sense of how important that decision is. We're a very popular school, always oversubscribed. Last year we had around 200 applicants, in fact just over 200 applicants for our 60 places. And once siblings were catered for, because siblings get a priority, we had just over 6 applicants for each of our remaining places at the school in September 2020. So we are a popular school, and there is a reason for that. We are a school that gives amazing opportunities to our children. Our children go on to celebrate some fantastic GCSE and A-level results, and also some really good degree results and doctorates as well. And all of the children that leave here are affected by their time at St John's in terms of the sort of people they are. I'm talking to you today from our Year 6 classroom, and I would say that a really good way of judging a school is to look at the Year 6 people that they produce. And it's a real shame that you can't come in and be shown round as we usually do because of COVID. But I'm sure you would have a real sense of the maturity and the roundness of our Year 6 pupils that we are immensely proud of, and they are the people that absolutely sell the school. We are a school that always continues to want to strive forward. We do that through developing our outstanding teachers. We also have a very strong and focused senior leadership team leading the school as well, particularly through COVID. That's been really important, and the school has felt very cohesive through the COVID episodes that we've experienced so far. And this leadership here has always been very strong. We have a supportive governing body, and also our parents are really supportive as well and really contribute towards the family feel that I know has been spoken of again before in this video. So there's a real passion to ensure that we're always at the top of our game, and a real passion for learning and for learners as well here at St John's. This is really embodied through our one school rule of love one another. And the children learn this very, very quickly at St John's and really understand each day. Their understanding of that deepens as to what it really means to love one another. We have outstanding reception classes. Both the reception classes are either one's brand new and one has been fully refurbished. Very experienced reception teachers, and the other support staff in the classroom are very experienced as well. So children that come here are really nurtured from day one until the day they leave with very experienced people. Fantastic role models as well throughout the school. One of the nicest things you see here is the reading mates with between Year 6 and the reception children, and that real bond is really special to both children in Year 6 and the reception children as well, so something to really look forward there. There's also a high level of wraparound care as well that's been spoken about here, so everything we try and do to the absolute best of our abilities. So how do you get a place at a school like this? Well, because we're a church school, 75% of our places, or 45 places, are allocated to what we say are foundation places, which are church commitment related places. And then the 25% or 15 places are allocated as open places, which means that they're much more about how close you are in proximity to the school than your church commitment. I'll take you through the process now. So you'll find our admissions criteria on the website, and please do look at that document very carefully because it contains everything you need to know about how to make an application and also about how we prioritise applicants, particularly if we have more applicants than we do places, which frankly we have every year, so we will be applying that criteria in this case as well. So the first thing to decide is whether or not you want to go for foundation or open, and we'll take you through what you need to do in order to make a valid foundation applicant. So it's about church commitment. And the school doesn't assess a commitment over the stated criteria. So if you're a member of a qualifying church, and you can see the definition of that in the policy, if you've attended weekly or fortnightly, accepting illness and holiday for at least the last 2 years, and here also in our policy we will make exceptions for COVID related absences as well from your commitment to church, and provided then that your priest or incumbent confirms your commitment and you have submitted a supplementary information form, which again is available on the website, then provided you have ticked that list, you can be considered for a foundation place. If you don't have the required commitment for foundation place, then you are very welcome to apply for an open place, which doesn't take any account of church commitment whatsoever. It's purely on the criteria which is listed in the admissions policy. If you're applying under a social or medical ground, please do note that you do have to have an exceptional and professionally supported medical or social need for a place at this particular school at St John's. And we do consider the word exceptional very carefully. So if you have a diagnosis of autism, for example, it's unlikely that we would consider that to be exceptional, because autism is fairly prevalent amongst pupils. It must be professionally supported at the time of the application. That's really important. If you do not produce records and you then appeal and subsequently produce medical support, your appeal won't be successful, because you have to prove that the application was not dealt with fairly at the time of the application. So if we don't see the medical evidence at the time that you submit your application, then you can't submit it subsequent to the decision being made. And the medical and social does relate to the child, not the parent or the carer. And as I say, it has to also be very clear about what it is about this medical or social ground that means that St John's is the school which is most suitable for your child. So please do look very carefully at the criteria if you want to make an application under this particular ground. So the process itself, it's a 5-stage process. The parents complete the Croydon Online Common Application Form, the CAF. It's now only available online at the croydon.gov website. And for foundation place, applicants or parents, carers must complete and return the blue Supplementary Information Form, the SIF, to us, to the school. And that's very important as well. And then the school admissions panel will meet in February next year, February 2021. And we will put in order, according to our criteria, all of those pupils that have applied. Croydon will then offer 60 places to the 60 people on top of that list. They will be sent out, and then offers have to be accepted. So let's go through each of those stages in a bit more detail. So as I say, you need to fill in the CAF, the Common Application Form. Please do fill that in as fully as possible. Read the notes. And you have the opportunity there to nominate up to 6 Croydon schools, and you place those in order of preference. None of the schools get to see which your order of preference, so we don't know if you've put us first or 6th, but you will be offered a place where you have most highly preferenced the school, where that school has a space available for you. So you can nominate up to 6 schools, and some people sometimes think, well, I'll just put 1 down because that will increase my chances of getting that 1 school. Please don't do that, because it really doesn't. If there's not a space for that school, the fact that you've only chosen that school will not increase your chances of being offered a place at that school. All it means is that you won't get your 2nd, 3rd or 4th choice if you don't put down a 2nd, 3rd and 4th choice. So I think my recommendation to you would be that you really do think about using all 6 of those nominations, so that at least if you get offered a school, it's a school that you have some knowledge of. All of the forms should be submitted, the CAF form should be submitted via the internet by midnight, and it is by midnight. Please try and do it before, on Friday the 15th of January 2021. So if you're applying for a foundation place, you also need to put in the blue SIF form, and you put that to St John's. Applicants nominate the churches where they worship, and you also state the extent of your commitment in terms of whether you have attended fortnightly or weekly. And again, please put all the information you can on that form that it asks for, and that should be returned to the school again by the 15th of January. Please note that we don't have a post box in our at our school externally, so you would need to bring that in during the school hours. If no supplementary form is received by an applicant, then you won't be able to be considered under the foundation criteria, and you can only be considered under the open criteria. So the school admissions panel then meets, as I say, in February next year, and we will consider each application in which we consider to be valid against the appropriate stated admissions criteria. All of the open the open applicants are sent in from Croydon, and we look at those against the open criterion, and the foundation we look at from the SIF. We then qualify each of those candidates and put them in order of compliance with the criteria. So we decide which criteria your application will fall within, and then everybody within that particular criterion will then be put in distance order from the school, and that will then form the preference list submitted back to Croydon Council. And then a place is offered at the most highly placed school on the parents or carers list of preferences that has indicated that the applicant does qualify for a place and at which a place is available. And if there are more qualified candidates than the number of places available, then offers are made in accordance with the preference lists and the admissions panel have submitted to Croydon. Those offers come out on Friday the 16th of April, and I think they're available from about midnight on the 15th usually, so that's a tense evening for you. This is really important. The last stage is if you're offered a place, then you must accept that by Friday the 30th of April 2021. If you do not accept that, we will be inundated with calls from unsuccessful applicants who will be after any places which are not accepted, and in fairness to everybody, we want people to know where they're going to their first school as soon as possible. So we want to be offering places fairly quickly after the 30th of April. So please, after you've celebrated, do remember to write in and confirm that you want to accept that place. That is important. So it's quite a process, and I'm sorry that the process is fairly elongated, but we try very hard at this school to make sure that our admissions criteria is as fair as possible to as many people as possible. So please do apply. There is a high competition, but there's never been such a good chance to join the school because we are twice as big as we have been for many years, so your chances are far improved. As I say, we have committed heads, staff, governors and parents, and it's a great school community here at St John's and a great start to all of school life. I hope you found that useful. Please do apply to St John's, and we very much look forward to receiving your application.